This is DJI's Mavic 3 Enterprise, DJI's latest Mavic Enterprise with RTK capabilities, making it possibly the best surveying drone. So earlier this week, I picked up this drone from my good friends over at NOAR Technologies.
Out here at NOAR Technology, let's get this Mavic 3. What's up, Chad? Good, how are you? Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for this. This is it, huh? Mavic 3 Enterprise.
Now Chad and the entire team at NOAR Technologies, they're great. They've got the surveying and the mapping experience that you would need for technical support, and they're dealers for a large network of companies like Leica Geosystems, Autodesk, DJI, and Pix4D. Make sure you guys check them out in the link in the description, or you can email them info@noartech.com. Make sure you let them know that Rami sent you, so you guys can unlock exclusive discounts and top-notch service. Now the DJI Mavic has been around for quite some time now, and everybody loves the small form factor and how convenient it is to carry it around, and some of us have even been able to do some mapping work using third-party software. However, the biggest drawback to having a Mavic as your mapping drone is that there is no RTK corrections to all of the image geotags. This means the accuracy of the geotags is much lower, which means you need additional ground control points in order to geo-reference everything into place. Now, DJI has made plenty of drones with RTK capabilities, from the M210 to the M300 to the M30, even the Phantom 4 has an RTK version, which is predominantly what I use for my drone survey projects. Now, this drone is great, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that I can hold it with one hand, it doesn't cost tens of thousands of dollars, and most of all, I have RTK capabilities with this drone, and I've found some extreme levels of accuracy without even using any ground control points. But this drone, it's far from perfect. Even though this drone is much more manageable than like the M300, the Mavic drone has been out for nearly 6 years. So we know DJI can make smaller drones, and that's something us surveyors have wanted. We want a Mavic that has RTK capabilities. And so we've sacrificed the size of our drone to have this antenna. Here's a video from like 6 years ago of Casey Neistat. He was talking about his Phantom 4 graveyard that he has in his office. Now the dude was pretty reckless with his drone and used to just shove his Phantom 4s in his backpack.
I gave up on keeping that thing safe and I just take the propellers off and cram it in my normal size backpack. That is in part the reason why I have 7 broken ones.
Now Casey might not be a surveyor, but he is a filmmaker, and so portability is just as important to him as it is to anybody. And so when the Mavic came out, it was a big deal for him and the entire filmmaking industry because the Mavic was the solution to their problems. So what improvements can we see with this drone in comparison to this drone? So with any Mavic, you're gonna have this small little body here. The beautiful thing is the props are automatically attached and tucked away, so you don't have to remove them and add them like you do with the Phantom. It's really easy, just open up the legs. And there you go, that's the whole drone. You don't even need to spread the props out because the centrifugal force of the drone as it's flying will automatically stretch them out like this. Now the Mavic 3 Enterprise has a 20 megapixel mechanical shutter camera, great for mapping projects, as well as a zoom lens to do any kind of inspection work. Now there are so many sensors on this drone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different sensors to help it with obstacle avoidance. And up here at the top, if I remove this little flap, you have a USB-C connector, which is where your RTK antenna will go. Now the controller that the Mavic 3E uses is quite different, a lot more compact, and more thought was put into this. I don't see an area to pull a battery out, so my guess is that it's an internal battery, so you don't need to worry about replacing batteries. You can just simply plug it in through USB-C and charge the controller. The usability seems pretty nice. I mean, all I have to do is switch the antennas up here. You have your power button right there to see how much battery you've got. Here we are, fully charged. And yeah, the simple press and hold will turn on the controller. Very easy and very elegant. I love the way this feels, and it doesn't seem big and cumbersome like Like this monster of a controller with the Phantom series. Actually, this Phantom controller is about the same size as the Mavic drone. So definitely a huge improvement on the controller of the Mavic 3 Enterprise. I also want to point out the cases, because this has been a major problem that I've seen with a lot of DJI's older drones. This case is the second iteration for the Phantom Force series. The original Phantom Force came in this ridiculous backpack that was really flimsy, and honestly, if you were to drop the drone in, it probably wouldn't protect your drone very well. They came up with this foam case, which is better, but again, foam is not my favorite material because it's not as durable. And if I was working in a conventional survey environment, this case would have been chewed up long ago, and I probably would have had to buy one of the third-party cases. This, on the other hand, is in a much stronger and durable case. It's smaller, well, considering the drone is smaller, of course the case is smaller. It reminds me of like a Pelican case, so I know that my drone and all my accessories are going to be much safer than they would be in this foam case. And so now the big question that all of you have right now, Rami, how well does it fly? All right, let's set up our job. So when I load up my controller, as you can see to the left, we're going to be using DJI Pilot 2. And to the right here, I can see I've got the DJI Mavic 3 Enterprise. And the option that us surveyors are most interested in is the flight route. So we're gonna go ahead and plan out a route. I'll say create a route, and I'm gonna select mapping. And here we are in the menu. The first thing I wanna do is name my project. So I'm gonna call this Mavic 3E Survey. Okay, I'll come down and select my camera, and we are going to be using the DJI Mavic 3E camera. I can enable terrain following if I wanted to and upload a DSM file, but I would have to have my RTK antenna attached. Next, I'll have my flight altitude. I want this to be a 150-foot flight. Now when it comes to speed, it automatically calculates what the most optimal speeds are without compromising resolution. You may notice 26.4 miles per hour is actually quite fast. That's because the mechanical shuttered camera allows us to travel at faster speeds because we'll be capturing the same amount of imagery without losing resolution. And when the mission is completed, I want it to return to home. So I'll go ahead and close this out. And now I'm going to create my limits. So I'm just going to tap in the center here and drag out my geofence so that I can survey this part. All right, looks good. I like how that looks. I'll go ahead and hit play. Now in the pre-flight check, I can set different parameters for how I want the drone to react, maximum and minimum heights, as well as how the drone should react at certain battery percentages. I'll go ahead and hit next. Here in the mapping checklist, I can view more of the details of our flight. As you see here in RTK status, it is disabled. Now I don't have the RTK module that goes on top of the drone. That's because DJI still hasn't released it to dealers, but I promise you the minute I get it, I will be doing accuracy tests, so stay tuned for that. Everything else here looks good, so I'm gonna go ahead and upload the mission, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit start.
Moving to start point.
And there we go. And we have a live view of the drone here. It is well on its way, and now it's gonna go to its first point. Camera points down.
Start point.
All right.
Starting task.
So as you see here now, it is collecting data, and the drone is moving at a much faster speed than we're used to. Again, mechanical shutter camera allows us to do this, which means our flight time will be less and we'll be able to capture more data in that time. Battery here is at 80%, and it's saying it has half an hour of juice, which means you'll have about 40 minutes of battery on a full charge. Very nice, huge improvement. Here we go, the drone is at its final approach, and it looks like it's about to complete the mission now.
Flight mission complete. Return to home.
There we go, the drone is now returning to home. All right, looking good. Again, special thanks to NOAR Technologies for giving us the chance to look at this drone. If you guys want to learn more about drone surveying, then be sure to check out this video up here. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel to get more updates about the Mavic 3 Enterprise.